Hi, and welcome back to ISSA TV live stream coming to you directly from Orlando. I'm your host, Hannah Kennedy, and with me is Mark from Beam Strategic Solutions in our special segment, Ask the Experts. So Mark, I do have a few questions for you, and to get started with our first one, what is your background and how did you get interested in sustainability in business?
Hi Hannah, thanks for having me. I started out as a chemist working in a laboratory, so I was formulating products, and along the way I always thought that if we can make products that are better for the environment, safer for people that work with them, are exposed to them, and are comparable price and performance, then why on earth wouldn't we? So if there's any time we could use a greener component, a formula or packaging, it just seemed to be a natural extension of what we were doing. Along the way, I decided to eventually get out of the lab. I got more involved in business. I actually happen to now teach part-time in an MBA program with business sustainability. So it's all kind of grown into this interest of looking at the entire picture of what products are, how people work with them, how businesses are affected by them, and how they can profit by it. So that's the sustainability argument for me.
That's really neat. So with that in mind, what do you think sustainability means in general, or to you, or to others?
It's actually a tough question to answer because I have my own perspective, which is very pro-business. That's my interest. How can businesses be more profitable, more efficient, more productive? Other people, when they think of sustainability, automatically think about the environment, and those environmental concerns are really important. Others think of social causes with sustainability. So everybody has a different approach that they come at the words, this idea of sustainability. So mine is very pro-business, but all the others are there. What's important is try to see those other perspectives, and even though I have mine, if you have a different one, that I should be able to recognize yours, and hopefully we have that trade-off. I kind of think of sustainability in terms of the concept. If I were to turn into something real, it would almost be like a diamond. So here's this really valuable, beautiful thing, but a diamond has lots of different facets to it. And that's kind of how sustainability is. Depending on how you look at it, which facet you see, the diamond's going to look a little different, maybe a different color, the light's going to reflect differently. So it's this great, beautiful concept that we all see differently, and that's okay. The trick is understanding not only your perspective, but what is everyone else's.
Very true. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard you start to mention the 3 Ps earlier. So there are the 3 Ps of sustainability. So how do you use them to make your business more profitable?
Well, as I kind of mentioned, there's environmental concerns, there's social concerns, there's business concerns. If you turn those into P's, you have people, planet, and profit. So that's a great little phrase to fall back on and think about what are the concerns of people, the planet, and the environment, and businesses making profit. Again, my bias is to think about businesses, how they're being successful, but I have to recognize all the other ones along the way. So that's the real trick in using sustainability in businesses, to recognize that interdependence of people, planet, and profit, but then also to manage those so that all of them are positive at the same time. If it turns out that we're doing great for the business, it's making a ton of money, and people are employed and they're happy, but the environment's being trashed, we're clearly not sustainable.
Right.
But by the same token, if we put in lots of environment, if we're really focused on the environment, and people, of course, are happy to be outside, the rivers are clean, the air is breathable, but the businesses have all been hurt. Well, that's not sustainable either. So you have to find a way to manage all 3 of those so that they're all positive. Not necessarily equally positive, but all of them have to be positive in some way. So that's the trick in business. How do we manage that interconnectivity and that balance?
And you kind of just touched on this, but regarding people, the planet, and the profit, how is each important and how does it affect others?
Well, the first thing I'll mention is that you recognize how they're interconnected. So when it comes to thinking about people issues and sustainability, that might be training in the workplace, taking care of health concerns. Companies offer flu shots. They go beyond just regular health benefits. They may have activities, the company's softball team. There's things anything that a business does to make the people feel connected to the company, that they're contributing, that they're involved is great. In terms of the environment, there's lots of things that can be done. Energy is the biggest single impact. So what type of energy are we using? Where does it come from? What kind of renewable sources do we have? So you can look in the environment, what can a business do to make things better and still be profitable? Energy usage is a big one. Anytime you can make your electrical bills go down. We put a new furnace in our home and our heating bills went down. I live in Chicago, so when your heating bill goes down in half with a new furnace, it's going to pay for itself in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So the environmental side of sustainability, they're spending money. Instead of it being a cost, it's an investment. From the profit side of things, there's lots of things companies can do. The sustainability reporting is kind of the biggest thing, and there's lots of companies on the show floor here that follow corporate sustainability formatting, and those all address societal issues, environment, their own business stuff. But the beauty of sustainability reporting is it forces you to look at yourself and what you're not doing well and come up with programs to fix it. So not everybody advertises they have this reporting because they don't want to advertise the things they don't do well.
Yes.
But it really becomes a way of managing your risk better and preventing you from spending money on things you do poorly rather than devoting your energies to what you do well.
It's very true. So based on that, do you think there are any misconceptions about sustainability?
I think there's a lot of them are out there. And it's perhaps it has to do with all our different perspectives, but I don't think sustainability is necessarily about recycling. Recycling is a great thing to do. I don't think it's expensive, although people often think you come by with these things, what are you going to change? What's it going to cost me? It depends whether you view it as a cost or an investment. So, those are just a couple that come to mind of misconceptions about it.
Well, they're very true. So if a company is interested in doing more with sustainability, how do you think that they should get started? For example, who should lead the efforts?
Well, I think the first thing they do is look inside their company and what are their perspectives. Are they primarily interested in business performance, the environment, or social issues? And probably they'll keep people in their company that are interested in all three. I think the corporate sustainability reporting is the best format, even if you don't follow the whole thing, even though you may not publish it, to use it internally to improve communication, to make sure everyone's on the same page is a great management tool. Ultimately, I think it's more of a financial or operational tool. So if it turns out somebody in your sales or marketing department is running your sustainability effort, I kind of wonder, what are you doing? If it turns out someone in your operations or finance department is doing it, then they're looking at it with a bit more metrics and keeping it internal before you advertise it to your customers in the world. But those are just some of the things to do. Or to contact somebody like me to help you. Shameless plug.
No. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you all very much for tuning in to ISSA TV Live. Don't go away. We'll be back for more. Thank you very much.